Hey, everybody out there in Facebook land, Twitter land, YouTube land, wherever you are. I'm Dr. Brad Nelson. Really glad to join you today. And a lot of you probably are already aware, you know about, of course, the Emotion Code book that first came out in 2007 and then came out again in 2019 as a hardcover. And my new book, The Body Code, How to Unlock Your Body's Ability to Heal Itself, just came out yesterday after all this this buildup and suspense and anticipation. And so now it's here, it's available. And I want to share with you some things about it and a little bit about how, how it works and what it's for and so on. So, so hello, everybody. I can see all of the, all of your comments coming in. So anyway, yes, this book, is titled The Step-by-Step Guide to Total Healing, The Body Code, How to Unlock Your Body's Ability to Heal Itself. So I want to share with you some things. First of all, unlike the Emotion Code book, okay, which of course was just in black and white, the Body Code is a big step up because it's in color and it has color pictures. So it's a picture book. If you're like me, I like picture books. And so it's really fun. And basically, if you look here in the Body Code, you can see the Body Code map. You can go to the different areas, and I'll talk about those in just a minute. But first of all, for those of you that are kind of new to this, take a look at this map here. Okay, there are 6 different pictures here, and each of these represents a different category of imbalances. So, a lot of you probably heard the story about this, but just for those of you that haven't, I'll just refresh your memories really quickly or fill you in. Back in 1980, I was going to school in Hawaii. And just on a whim, I took a class in computer programming. And oh my gosh, I'd never seen anything like this before. It was so captivating and just so amazing that you could give instructions to a computer and you could get it to do what you wanted. Of course, back then it was very limited, but still, it just was totally enchanting to me. And so I became a computer programmer. And I eventually had a business called the Computer Tutor back in the early 80s, back when people would buy a computer like a new IBM PC or an Apple II or something, and they wouldn't know what to do with it because there was no software really. So I would go into people's businesses and write software for them. I would figure out what their flow was, and then I would try to write software. And it was really basic stuff back then, but there was nothing graphical back then. I mean, that was before the Mac came out in 1984. It gives you an idea how old I am. Anyway, so when I was when I eventually went to chiropractic school, I can remember sitting in class and hearing my instructors say things like, "Wow, the brain's the most amazing computer ever discovered, or that we know of in the known universe." And I would think, well, if it's really a computer, will we ever be able to access the information that must be in there? And of course, that's what this is all about. So anyway, so I always had a computer there in my office as I was working on my patients. And if any of you were old patients of mine, you'll know that's true. And you'll remember that. And the reason I did that is because I was building a database really of imbalances. So as I would find something new on someone, and this was a process that went on for years, as I would find a new imbalance on someone, I would put it into my database and try to figure out, okay, where should this go? How does this fit in? And eventually what I found, and what the Body Code really explains, is these 6 categories that I was able to create during those years. These are the 6 categories. And so the first one is, here, let me see if I can find this one for you. So the first category we'll say is energies, in the book anyway. And energies are things like trapped emotions that shouldn't be there, physical trauma energies that are in the body that shouldn't be in the body, things like that, other things as well. And what's nice about this, I don't know if you can actually see this, but If you look at the map here, underneath every single one of these is a specific page number. So the idea behind this is that you can actually use the book, and you can use it just like you would use the app, although in a more limited way. And I'll explain that in a minute. So if you're taken to energies, then on the next page, you'll see that we've included 4 different kinds of energetic imbalances with page numbers. So then you can turn to those areas and you can find imbalances, and you can do this yourself. And of course, we include trapped emotions, and the chart is in here, and the heart wall is in here, and all of that, and more that's not in the emotion code book. Let's say that you find that there's some kind of a pathogen in the body. Well, that's another category, see? And so you might be taken to a page that looks like this. And of course, again, all these pages have page numbers, etc. You might be taken to an area called circuits and systems, where you can find imbalances in the circuitry of the body and so on. For example, let me just read to you just a little excerpt out of the book I think that you might like. Well, okay, here's one. If your left knee hurts, it's probably because you have an imbalance in your adrenal gland on the left side. If your right knee hurts, it's probably because of an imbalance in your gallbladder. If you have a nagging pain in between your shoulder blades, it's probably because of an imbalance in your liver. If your lower back hurts, it's probably because your kidneys are imbalanced, either one or both. And so, so one of the fun things that we have here is a little chart called the usual suspects. And I put this together when I was in practice, because as I was talking to the subconscious minds of my patients, trying to figure out what was really wrong with them, right? I was able to gain more and more information about how the body really works. So if you think about it, in Western medicine, don't get me wrong, we all need Western medicine at times, don't we? And it's fantastic for acute problems, especially. But generally speaking, if you have some kind of a symptom, you've got something that, you got migraines, or you got digestive problems, or some other kind of issue, Western medicine usually doesn't have a whole lot to offer you, except they'll probably have some kind of a pharmaceutical drug they can give you that will suppress those symptoms. We're on the verge now of a whole new, really of a whole new world and a whole new understanding. Because what I learned during those years is that symptoms are really just the body's way of telling us that there's something wrong, okay? So no matter what it is, if it's physical pain or some other problem that you have going on, mental, emotional, physical, think of that problem, think of that symptom or those symptoms as being like a check engine light in your car, telling you, hey, there's something else really that's going on that needs to be addressed. That is what the body code is for. It's to enable you, to help you to find and address those underlying problems. Now, to get back to something that I was alluding to a little bit before, one of the problems that I was facing in writing this book was that the body code itself is such a huge knowledge base. It's so huge that there are probably around 900 different images like these that we had designed and created specifically. I mean, imagine 900 or so unique images. And every one of those needs explanation and so on. So the problem that I was facing initially was, how in the world can I take this massive knowledge base that if I were to print it out by itself, it would be about as thick as probably 4 books like this. It would be more encyclopedic. And I thought, how in the world am I going to do this? And in fact, I'll tell you something. When I finished the first manuscript and sent it in to my publisher, Joel, at St. Martin's Press, he read it and he got back to me and said, no, really what we want is more of a hands-on book. We want a book that's kind of more of a companion to the emotion code that teaches people how to do it. And I thought, well, I don't know how I'm going to do that, because it's going to be so huge. The book's going to be so thick. And he said, oh, by the way, it has to fit in this X number of pages. And I just thought, wow, okay, I got to think about this. How is this going to work? So because the first manuscript that I had sent in was really just more of an overview. It was like, here's what the body code is, here's kind of how it works, and so on. So with this book, what I did is I took the highlights, really, the things that are, I first of all wanted everybody to understand exactly how the body code works and what it is. So that's all in here, okay? What it is, how it works, the whole philosophy behind it, the understanding of energy medicine and quantum physics and how it all is possible. It's all in here. And all of the 6 categories, they're all in here too. And all of the stories, all the personal stories, how I was led to find things and uncover things. And those were usually almost always in answer to some kind of prayer that I was asking for help for a patient, right? So all of that is in there. And then what I did is I took the things that most commonly show up for people, the greatest hits, you might call it. Those are in here as well. Okay. It was really impossible to put everything in here. All of the different imbalances that just wouldn't have fit in here. It would have become like an encyclopedia. Those are all in the Body Code app, of course. And the beautiful thing about those is that they're just electrons. And so you can have an encyclopedic volume or a knowledge base in an app on your phone, your iPad, your browser, on your desktop, whatever. And it doesn't take up really any room much to speak of. Although the app itself, which is mainly just text and these low, very compressed images, is about 650 megabytes, I think. So it's pretty big. But anyway, so that's what the body code really is. So I thought for fun, I'd share with you a couple of stories out of this. And this has been, it's been a labor of love, but it's also been a lot of work. So it's really nice to see it finally get done and get finished. So here, I'll just read a random paragraph for you. This is out of What Makes the Body Code Work. We are very fortunate to be living in this time because the world is transforming. There is increasing turmoil and many are oppressed, but we are also growing as beings of light ourselves. We are not stagnant. We are either gathering more light or we are diminishing in light. What we will eventually see with divine help is a better and greater world. And there's no doubt at all in my mind that is exactly where we're going. With this transition, you may notice that answers come more easily. The power to do good is more readily available and intentions manifest more immediately. And I don't know if any of you have been noticing any of these things, but I'll tell you, I have. As the intensity of darkness increases in the world, so the brightness of light increases as well. Now more than at any other time in the world, we can expect miracles. I'm reading from the book. Just remember, this is page 49. One of the things about faith and intention is that you have to keep having it. If what you intended didn't arrive today, be confident that it will tomorrow, right? And here's a fun story from a woman named Shoko from California. She wrote in, she said, "My father is 83 years old, living in Asia. One day on our phone conversation, I found that he was enduring pain in the area where his gallbladder was removed. He said the pain might be caused by the stones in the bile duct, which doctors could not remove during the operation that took place about 4 years earlier. Since then, he'd been taking medication daily. I asked him if I could use the body code on him. He may not have understood what the body code was exactly, but I got his permission anyway. I found and removed entities, heart wall emotions, and his heart wall itself. I called him the next day. I asked him, so how do you feel? Do you still have pain? He answered, which pain? Well, the pain you had yesterday. Oh, it is gone. Your magic works. I laughed and felt the magic and beauty of the body code. And it really is kind of a magical thing. I mean, it's not magic, but the world that we live in is magic, right? The reality is every moment of your life is magic. Every moment that we live is really a miracle. And it just goes on and on and on. Okay. Hey, there's my friend Umer from Turkey. Hey, Umer, nice to see you. Hope to see you again. Hopefully this year. Here's a fun one about this is one of my favorite little stories about prayer. Okay, because we talk about that a little bit in here. This is a fascinating study from Israel where patients suffering from blood infections had been admitted to hospitals during the years between 1990 and 1996. Volunteers in July of 2000 prayed for the recovery of half of these patients chosen by a random number generator. When the data was analyzed, the group that had been prayed for had experienced significantly shorter hospital stays and had recovered faster than the control group, right? Well, that makes sense, right? We've all heard stories about how prayer works. The fascinating thing about this study is that the patients who were prayed for had been hospitalized for their illnesses between 4 and 10 years before the study even took place. So it seems that prayer not only works, it may actually be able to transcend time. Of course, quantum physics explains how this is possible, since time is another dimension that is actually nonlinear, which is hard for us to wrap our minds around. But isn't that fun? So there's some really fun stuff in this book and lots of great testimonials and fun stories. So, all right. I want to thank all of you, for your comments and so on. And let's see. Also, I wanted to share with you a couple of other things. Okay, a couple of questions maybe that people might have is, well, really, who is this book for? Is this just for practitioners? And the answer is no. It's for anybody that has a body, because it's really kind of like it's kind of like your owner's manual for your body, really. And it teaches you things that you will not ever learn probably anywhere else. So if you've got a body, this is a book that you really should read. It'll open your mind to a new place. And you know what they say? They say that a mind that is stretched to a new place never is able to regain its former shape. And I wrote the book because I wanted people to understand how these bodies of ours really work. I mean, if you think about it, mankind has been kept in darkness, really, for a long, long, long time, thousands of years. And our bodies, for most of us, are just a mystery. Why do I have knee pain? Why does my back hurt? Why can't I conceive a child? Why have I been diagnosed with this disease? It's just a mystery. The body to most people is just a black box. We have no idea why things happen. And of course, really honestly, the medical profession, they don't most of the time have a real true understanding of what's going on either. One of the stories in the book that I tell about is this woman that she had migraine headaches for about 19 years. She came in to see me because she had dropped, she was lifting one of her kids. She didn't drop her kid. She was lifting one of her kids and she hurt her back. And so she came in to see me, and I was back in practice then. And she told me that she had a migraine that had been going on for 2 weeks without a moment's break. And she was taking Cafragot and Fiorinol and some other, pretty heavy duty stuff to deal with the symptom, right? And so I tested her, found she had something out of alignment at the base of her skull, and I was able to correct that. And immediately the migraine was gone. And she was kind of stunned. She came back in, I think it was like 5 or 6 days later, and she was mad. And I thought she was mad at me. I thought, oh my gosh, what did I do? But she explained she wasn't mad at me. She said her migraine had not come back. And she said that she hadn't gone more than a day, basically, without a migraine in about 19, 20 years. And she said she was mad because she had seen 8 or 9 different doctors during all that time. And all that they had done was give her different medications to deal with it. And had told her, well, there's nothing really, we don't know what causes this. All you can do is deal with the pain, right? And they were doing the best that they could, because that's what they had been taught. And that's what they knew. But she was mad because she said they should have known. They should have known that there was some alternative that might actually be able to help this. She said, I've lost years of my life that I'm never going to get back, just in a dark room trying to deal with this unbelievable pain. She said, I can't even tell you how much money I've spent in all these medications I've taken over all these years that just made me sick and caused side effects. And she said, I'm mad because I'm mad really at all this time that I've lost that I'm never going to be able to get back. So think about this. This is really what the body code is about. It's about it's about finally ripping the cover off the true nature of who we are. And the true nature of who we are is that we are beings of pure energy, and all the answers lie within each one of us as to what's really wrong with us. And the body code is simply a way to help people start to understand that and to figure out, well, to actually be able to do this themselves. I mean, that's the beauty of this. That's the beauty of it. So thank you, Kathy. Nice to hear from you. Amanda says, can't wait to purchase this book. Thank you for all your hard work. Absolutely. It's going to be fun. Milarka says prayer and intention. And that's right. It's all about prayer and intention. Angie's decided to get the book. It's fun. And of course, now it's available. It's also available as an audiobook. And I'll tell you what's really fun about the audiobook. You know, the Emotion Code audiobook, I narrated myself. And of course, Tony Robbins narrated the foreword, which was really, really nice of him to write the foreword too. It was a really nice gift. This book, the foreword was actually written by someone that you probably all know, and that is George Norrie. Okay. He wrote the foreword. And so in the audiobook, he narrates the foreword. He's one of my favorite people. In fact, I'm going to be on Coast to Coast tomorrow night, actually, Coast to Coast AM. And I'll be on there for a couple of hours. Starts, I think, at about 11 p.m. Mountain Time, and I'll be up late that night. But anyway, very excited about that. But one of the really fun things in the audio version of the book is that I did my narration of everything except the testimonials from other people. And then they actually had professional actors that did those. My wife tells an amazing story that she dictates or narrates in the audio. So that's really kind of fun. Thank you, Marie. You're amazing. And for those of you that don't know, Marie is one of my good friends, lives in Spain. And I've been going over to her events, the Animal World Energy Healing Conference and the World Energy Healing Conference over in Manchester in the UK for quite a number of years now. So thank you, Marie. Yeah, it's really fun. It's really nice to have it done with, I'll tell you, because it was a lot of work. But thank you, Diane and Sabran. Yeah, we actually do have an event we're planning in London in the UK, so we'll let you know. Thanks, Erica. And so here we have the event, actually, Emotion Code and Body Code Seminar in London. I'll be over there for 2 months in Europe, June and July. So we're still putting together some of the events there, but I'll be in Milan doing an event. In Italy, we'll be doing an event in Warsaw in Poland. We've got an event in Frankfurt, Germany that we're doing. So go to Discover Healing and you can look at all of those. Melena says, thank you, Dr. Brett, for you and your work. Big hug from Germany. Absolutely. And right back at you. So let's see here. What else can I tell you? The book is for everybody. It really, truly is. This world has to change, and it's going to change, but it has to change because, I mean, especially if you look at what's happened over the last couple of years with all the craziness in the world, which we won't really go into detail about, but you know, there's been some seriously wrong things about what's been happening. But I'll tell you, the reality is we are divine beings. And within each one of us lies a perfect understanding of what we really need and what's really wrong with us. And so in the body code, one of the things that you'll find, like, for example, if we go to the nutrition and lifestyle page, okay, that's this one right here. You'll see, we talk about all these various different things that are in the app. And we also include some tables, like here's a nutrients chart. So you can actually muscle test or dowse. You can use a pendulum or whatever you want to use. And you can find imbalances in here. And that reminds me of a story. One of the stories that I actually told in the book that was really remarkable, really fun, that some of you might have heard. But there was a woman came to me once, young woman suffering from severe abdominal pain. She'd been hospitalized for 5 days for this pain. They'd run every test that they could run, and they were all negative. And so she came in to see me. And the first time I worked on her using what now is the body code, back then it was just my computer. I cleared a couple of trapped emotions and a couple of other things, and I found that she needed chromium. So in other words, I was taken to a table like this by her subconscious mind, asking questions, and found she needed chromium. And chromium is it's a trace mineral. It's good for blood sugar and so on. And I thought it was kind of an incidental finding. And I said, okay, you need chromium, I think. You should probably get some. I said, we're out right now, but you should probably get some at some point. So she came in the next day, and that session didn't really help her. She was still really in pain. The next day she comes in and she's even in more pain. She's like a 10.5 on a 0 to 10 scale. And I didn't know what to do. So I got out the body code and started testing again. And out of all the possibilities, I was taken right to a table like that and right to chromium. And only then did I remember, oh wait, yeah. Hey, that showed up yesterday. I said, I think you need chromium. I don't know why, but I said, I want you to leave my office right now, go down the street, buy some chromium tablets, ask them for water, go ahead and open it up and take some right there, and then come back. 20 minutes later, this young, very athletic woman is jumping up and down in my waiting room, and she's saying, I'm fixed. She said the moment that she took the chromium tablets, the pain just instantly was gone. And she said, how did that work? And I said, I don't know. I have no idea. But anyway, that's how it goes. Kind of fun stuff. So thank you, John. And let's see here. And Eric's got a question here. Will the book be translated to Hungarian? That's a good question. I don't know if we have a Hungarian publisher yet, but the publishers now are, for the last few months, have been jumping on board and wanting to take on this project. It's just a matter of time, and we'll have it there for you. So anyway, let me see if there's anything else I need to mention to you guys here. All right. Well, first of all, imagine living in a world where everyone understands this, where Western medicine fulfills its rightful need, where pharmaceuticals are used less and used judiciously, and in cases where they really help. In other words, imagine living in a world where everybody is really understanding that within them lie all the answers. And imagine living in a world where everyone knows how to get those answers, where everyone is suddenly conversant in this language of the body itself, the language of the subconscious mind. Imagine living in a world like that, where if a child is in pain, that child's parents know how to communicate with the subconscious mind of that child to do whatever needs to be done. Imagine people not having to deal with pain for decades and years and years. I mean, that's the world we're going to. That is the world we are going to. Now, of course, the world is in turmoil. Things are crazy. Absolutely, that's true. Why? Because the earth is in labor, essentially, trying to give birth to this new world. And the body code and the emotion code are just a little teeny piece of that, of this consciousness expansion that's happening right now. It's happening every day. The consciousness of the world, I believe, is expanding at a rate that is accelerating, so that every single day, the consciousness level of the world, if you could measure it, would be bigger than the day before. See, that's where we're going. We're going towards a time in the life and civilization of mankind that we have never experienced before. And so that's pretty exciting to me. So let's see here. By the way, we do have a pre-order webinar. If you haven't ordered the book, please go ahead and order it. Get it for yourself. I promise it's going to be worth it for you, and you're going to love it. Also, please leave a review, okay? If you like it, if you love it, it's great. Please leave a review there, because people go by those reviews, and it really does help to spread the word about this, because the earth has to change. And that's what this is about. It's about transforming the world ultimately. It's about transforming individuals, yes, but ultimately that's the big picture. That's the macro view. Now, we do have a pre-order webinar reminder that my team will post on here, and I'll just read this to you. Let's see. Tuesday, February 28th, okay, at 11 a.m. MST. If you've already purchased the book, you can gain access to an exclusive webinar with me on Tuesday, February 28th, 2023, 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. You just have to submit your receipt for buying the book by February 23rd at 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time in order to be eligible on this form. Well, the 23rd is coming up because today is the 22nd. The book came out yesterday. So that's tomorrow. The deadline of that is tomorrow. So they'll post that in here. And so I just really want to encourage you to get the book, share the book. It makes a great gift. If you need a gift for somebody, give them a gift of learning how to communicate with their own subconscious mind. I mean, what kind of a gift is that when the computer within them knows all the answers about what's really wrong? So it's kind of mind-blowing. Erica says, hello from Switzerland. Is the body code available in German? And it's being translated right now into German. Yes. So our publisher, VAK Verlags in Germany, will be publishing it. So just stay tuned there. Vanessa says, my book is shipped. You need to download the audiobook as well. Yeah, absolutely. I think you'll enjoy having both is great. I love audiobooks, but I usually end up getting them both because sometimes you want to write in the book or you want to outline something or there's something that's in there that you need to see. Lacey says, got my book in the mail yesterday. So excited. I love being a body code practitioner. It's amazing to be able to help others with the body code every day. Absolutely right. And for those of you that maybe you're new or don't know, we do have a certification pathway available. If you want to get certified in the body code, you can. But I want to emphasize, if you want to use this for your friends, family members, please do. Use it on everybody that you can. If you want to really master it, and if you want to do it for a living and charge people, then we have a certification pathway that you can go through, and it's not expensive. And so yeah, that's available for you. Let's see here. Magdalena says the price is speechless. Okay. And Jill says hello. Hi, Jill. Nice to see you. Jen says, starting a blog for the Christian community to be comfortable with the fact that our bodies are energy that God made. A conversation has to be in the forefront right now. Let me share something with you. Hold on 1 second. I want to share something. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Okay. Thanks for waiting. This is a little book that you need to order. Okay. It's called Annette Capps. And she, on the back, it says, how does quantum physics relate to the Bible? Can words move mountains? How did Jesus supersede the laws of physics? Great stuff. This is a phenomenal little book and really so good. And it's really skinny, really a thin book. It's at Capps Ministries, CAPPS MINI. Here, let me just type it in here. capsministries.com. I was given this book by a friend in Florida, and I would just highly recommend that you get this because it can really help people to open their minds and understand what's going on about that. So thank you, Jen, for that, and thanks for the reminder. What's the price? I'm not sure. I think the book's $28 or something online. Let's see here. Yeah, and Malarka says, I love the audiobook and I love that Dr. Brad's narrating with other people. I think that's kind of fun. Yeah. And Lene says, hello from Denmark. Hello. And we'll be in Copenhagen for an event. I think it's around the first week of June. Erin's book came yesterday. She's beyond excited. Roseanne says, will you do a demonstration today using the book? Oh, I might be able to do that. Yeah, sure. Why not? Angie says, you changed my life in beautiful and profound ways. So grateful for you and your work. Well, thank you. That's so sweet. Daniel says, hello from Poland. Hello, Daniel. And all right. So yeah, sure. Let's, can I do that? I'm not sure if I can do that or not. I mean, I could. I'm not sure how I would bring somebody in here. I'll tell you what, I'll do, I won't do a demo today, but I will I'll do another Facebook Live and we'll do some demos. I think that'll be really fun. Actually, on Tuesday, I'm going to be doing a demo. So there you go. The answer is right there. Okay, fantastic. So I want to thank you all for being on, and again, I hope you get the book. I hope you read it. I hope it changes your life and opens your mind to this understanding that has absolutely got to come out into the world, and it's going to. It's inevitable. I've done seminars and events all over the world, and I've had people come up to me in different places in different countries over all those years who have said things to me like, I had a near-death experience where I saw this change the world, or they'll say, I had a dream or I had a vision and I saw this work change the world. And it really reminds me of the story that's in the book, that I tell in the book, about the answer to prayer that I got all those years ago when I had wanted to go into the healing arts, right? Because I'd been healed of kidney disease when I was 13 by some alternative doctors. And, but I'd gotten involved in computers and computer programming, and I was about 6 months away from going into the MBA program to get my master's in business at Brigham Young University in Provo, Utah. My wife were living there, and we had, at the time, we had one little girl, Natalie, that's 30, I guess she's 39 now. So it was a while back. We went home to Montana and we were sitting around with my parents, and totally out of the blue, my dad said to me, "Are you sure that you don't want to go to chiropractic school? It seems like a great career and you've always wanted to do that." And I said, "No, I'm going this other direction, into business and computers and so on." And he said, "Well, why don't you think about it one more time?" So I did, prayed about it with my wife, and got on my knees that night and asked for help. And I had this experience that night where I was awakened 3 different times. And when I was awakened, my mind would be full of all these warm, happy thoughts about helping people naturally and serving people naturally. And I would think, well, yeah, it is good. Yeah, that's true. But computers, I mean, I think the new IBM PC has a 4 megahertz processor, and I'd fall asleep again. And so the next day, I'm still not convinced. And so that night, I got on my knees again, prayed. Father, help me to know what to do. And that night, I had the same experience, except it was exponentially more powerful on the second night. And I tell the story in the book because it's part of this whole story. And exponentially more powerful on the second night, so that on the third time that I was awakened on the second night, the thoughts of service to mankind and humanity and the whole world was just absolutely overwhelming. And right then I heard a voice that spoke to me. And the voice said, "This is a sacred calling." And I thought, okay, I get it. But I didn't get it. I had no idea what that meant. But now, after all of these years, and seeing this work go into the world, and seeing people wake up to the reality of who they are, that we are all divine beings, that we're here for very special, very sacred purposes, and sickness and symptoms that are mental or emotional or physical in nature can really disrupt us and can deflect us from fulfilling our mission and doing what we're supposed to be doing here in this world. And so I'm beginning to understand, I think, what that experience was about and what it meant. And it really has nothing to do with me. I just work here. It's all about the world, and it's all about you. So I hope that you'll get the book, read it. Just read it with an open mind, and allow your heart and allow your mind to be open, because this is true. Every experience that's in here really happened. All of these ways that we talk about how the body works, all these amazing things that are in here, they're all true. And we're living in a world now where truth is hard to find, but it's okay, because all of this is supposed to happen. It's all going to work out. So anyway, the fact is, this has been really, really fun. So remember that the body code itself, the book, explains how it all works. And remember, you can use the body code. It doesn't have everything in it. It doesn't have everything that the app has in it, because again, the app is so much more extensive. But again, what I did is I put the highlights in here, kind of the greatest hits. So my goal for you is that you'll be able to use this book and get results and see changes and have some really fun, really amazing things happen. That's my goal for you. And for you to understand it all, how it works, because it has to happen. So anyway, I've probably taken up enough of your time, but I want to thank you again for being on. And yeah, it's been really, really fun. Lucia says, Dr. Nelson, we're so thankful for your work and see the most amazing things unfold for our clients because of it. Right. Exactly. Right. But even if you don't have clients per se, this is for you, because this is your body. You need to know how it works. Right. And you can use it all you want. Use it on your friends, family members, loved ones, all you want. Again, if you want to really own it, you want to charge people for it, then we have that pathway for certification that you can do. But anyway, she says, to be changing the world around us through emotional body code is ultimately the most gratifying job to be in. Well, right? Think about that. I mean, imagine spending your time. What are you doing now with your time? Imagine spending your time actually helping other people, healing other people, changing other people's lives. I mean, our practitioners sleep really, really well at night. God is so gracious and full of compassion to have guided you in creating such blessed therapy modalities. Well, I just work here, like I said, but God is, he does love us. He loves us so much, more than we can even imagine. And I know that that's absolutely the truth. So God bless y'all, and get the book, and then I'll see you on the webinar. All right. All right. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.